So how much plastic do you use in your life? This pen is plastic. What happens to the plastic that you've used just once? Is it true that every single plastic toothbrush you've ever used still exists somewhere? Well, today is a good day to think about it all. It's World Environment Day. Our Environmental Affairs Minister, Barbara Creasy, she's commemorating the day with the United Nations Environment Programme. Dr. Meseret Zemedkun is the head of the Regional Office for Southern Africa for the UN Environmental Programme. Doctor, good afternoon to you and thank you for your time. We keep being told to recycle. As South Africans, are we recycling properly or are we still a bit behind the curve? Doctor, I'm afraid we can't hear you. I don't know if you still have us on mute. Or maybe load shedding started a little early.
Yeah.
Thank
you very much for having me. Indeed, we are celebrating the World Environment Day today in Cape Town, in collaboration with the Ministry of Forestry, Fishery and the Environment, with the Minister, and also with the actually Western Cape province and also other partners. Indeed, today this World Environment Day has marked its 15th anniversary this year, which was celebrated annually on 5th of June since 1973. But this event has really grown to be one of the biggest global platforms for environment outreach, with millions of people across the world engaging to protect the planet. But this year, the theme of the WED 2023 focuses on solutions to plastic pollution under the campaign Beats the Plastic Pollution. Actually, an African country, Cote d'Ivoire, is really leading that. Basically, today, we managed to visit, actually, the different companies there. But as you said, the main issue is that this plastic in the world, actually, there are 1 million of plastics, it's been bought, and I think more than that, half of them are really dumped into landfills and also dump sites. These are the major problems. And also these plastics are really giving problem on our health and on our economy and on our environment. So I think today it is just campaigning to say that end of the actually the plastic pollution is really very important, because to keep our environment and also to keep our health in actually in marine and in land and in air, that if we really that in our ecosystems, in our planet that we depend on. So basically today, I think everybody has pledged really to come up with, end of the plastic pollution and having actually the legal binding environment, actually the agreement, what we are doing. The United Nations Environment Programme is really putting and getting its from member states, the United Nations Environment Assembly, actually the resolution on circular economy, not dumping plastics in marine or in landfills, but recycling them and make them use for economic purposes. Actually, for this, I think there are solutions, immediate solutions. One, there is solution from the government. One, bringing the appropriate, policy solutions. We have the EPR, actually, and also this, the extended, actually, producer responsibility is the main policy that we have, which is actually can be also customized, also triggered with deposit actually return scheme. So that is the government's appropriate policy that we need. And also we need actions from the plastic actually industry, from private sector, where you can see innovative solutions, how you can reuse these plastics and create wealth from waste instead of really dumping this plastic and creating a lot of health problems and economic problems as well. Because plastics, they can stay for thousands of years and they can really pollute the ocean and even the fish. And when we eat fish, it will really come and affect our health. So South Africa is really on the right track. I think they have been really putting, just in the agreement of the legal binding agreement.
Dr. Zemedkun, really if I may, yes. Thank you. Is part of it also packaging? There is so much plastic packaging, and you just use it once. You You undo your toothbrush, and then you throw the packaging away, and the packaging is plastic. Do we need to talk to the packaging industry about using something else, using cardboard maybe?
Yeah, actually now this is one of the things that we really see. That is the induced, producer, we want to responsibility, and including packaging and also the deposit actually return scheme that we are really bringing. So one of the sites that we have visited today is actually, it is like the packaging and also collecting the plastic sites, processing it, and also changing it into actually the economic value. Particularly, we have seen that creating jobs for youth and women. That is important to see when these plastics can be used for creating jobs and also can be used also for other productive uses, for housing and for partitioning and others. So we have a very impressed, actually, a kind of, initiation from private sector, what we saw, but this has to be improved. The public-private partnership should be there. The government put the policy, and other partners, the civil society and others, has to really team up. And now coming to this international binding agreement, which is come that the end of, the agreement will be practical by 2024, which really, bring the whole peoples, to work together, not only the government, but the private sector, financing institutions, and also the civil society and other, players in the country.
And Doctor, other countries, you spoke about Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, are countries that have cut back on the amount of plastic that they use. What do we need to learn from them to do that?
Yeah, actually, in Africa, I think there are still certain countries that have already banned plastic, like Rwanda. They have taken, just the front line to cut, the plastic ban, and also other countries single-use plastics. That is, I think, the most difficult one. You use it and you throw it and it will create problems. So they are bringing different solutions and using a different plastic, which is recyclable, recycling it and changing it to another value. So most of the countries, as we see, in March 2022, actually, the all United Nations Environment Assembly, all African and also the global environmental ministers have already agreed to end, this plastic pollution in the context of circular economy. For that, now they are putting the international binding agreement in order to end plastic solution by 2024. So there is a lot of commitment coming, but for that, specifically for Africa, it brings, it requires a lot of solution, because in the plastic industry also there are a lot of jobs. So this is a just transition. So we require lot of financing to come on, and then the African countries also, they will come to increase actually, to bring the plastic industry to the innovative and other solutions to bring, wealth and also the job creation. That is the very important one. So the inclusive growth by ending the plastic pollution will come, and the incoming, growth and the inclusive growth will happen. So that is the most important thing, and that's what even the government of South Africa is really working on. Phasing out from plastic industry, yeah.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Dr. Meseret. Zemedkun is the head of the Regional Office of the United Nations Environmental Programme in Southern Africa. Ma'am, thank you very much indeed.